Hi Libra, the Awakened Dreamer here to give you a tarot reading for your next 48 hours. Thank you so much for joining me. Do keep in mind, of course, this is general, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. But I do more than appreciate your likes, your comments, and of course your subscriptions to the channel if you haven't done so already. But I do want to remind you that this is meant to pertain to the following 48-hour period for you, beginning around when you're guided or drawn to this reading, this video, not just following when I post it, okay? So apply it as you wish or how it's meant to. But moving forward, let's do some shuffling. We're going to pull from the Wisdom deck and see what we get. Bear with the background noise as a car was honking or a car alarm was going off. I do feel like there's certain random noises taking place in the next 48 hours that either serve as a distraction, a delay, a disturbance, an annoyance potentially, but I do feel like you are doing quite well in comparison to how you would have in the past. I do feel like you have a heightened intuition at this point, or you just feel like you know more than you should, or you just know more than meets the eye. I feel like you even, say you recently met somebody or you're meeting somebody throughout the next 48 hours, or you're just in the early stages of getting to know somebody in one way, shape, or form. I feel like you know more than meets the eye. You just kind of get somebody, or you just see through the BS. I do feel like you could be predictive in nature being drawn to this reading. You could be very psychic, I even feel, but I do sense that regardless of how it plays in for you, you're seeing the way for oneself, okay? And you could even see the way for other people. I do feel like when you need something the most, it just comes to be. It's the next 48 hours that just reminds you how powerful you truly are in your abilities, in your utilizing your mind in the best ways, okay? As I'm being drawn to this owl here. And I really feel like your connection to the moon will take a relevance in one way, shape, or form. Truth be told, yeah, you see the truth in a situation, okay? I feel like this could have to do with an ex, it could be to do with certain friends, it could be to do with a past situation in general, but for a lot of you drawn to the reading, it has to do with who you've recently met or who you're meeting throughout the next 48 hours. I do feel like people are drawn to reach out or connect to you in one way, shape, or form. Past love coming into play. Masks will be worn, but will be taken off quite quickly, okay? Or just one specific mask. I do feel like you are seeing straight through the BS at this point along your path, and that's helping you discern quite quickly, okay? That's helping you figure out who's got your back and who doesn't, or just who's to be trusted and who shouldn't be. But I do sense that you're co-creating, and we have a second owl, okay? So actually, if you look, I know that this deck does have a lot of owls, but not every card does. All three cards so far have an owl, okay? But I do feel like, okay, a face will show its true colors is what I just said, just heard. But I feel you are getting ready to give birth to something new, okay? Feeling quite bold and serious, but then there are going to be certain moments where you smile and it feels nice, it feels comforting to whoever's around you because of your energy, and even to oneself in a healing way. But you're co-creating a new beginning, okay, with your spirit guides, or one main one that you hear the most. And I do feel like the whirlwind of your mind feels quite relevant to those around you. I do feel as if you're making everything happen the way it's meant to go down, okay, or just come to be. And the work you produce and develop is quite impressive. What else do we have? Loving vibes is what I just heard. Loving vibes. I did see this along with the treasure card at the split deck before, but I was told it wasn't relevant because I feel like it was just mainly the mending card that was meant to be spoken upon at this point in the reading. You're being pushed to mend a connection with somebody from the past, or you're thinking about when you made up with somebody. Fixing what doesn't need to be fixed. Okay, we'll move on. I feel like you're even asking oneself certain important questions throughout the day, being pushed to stop before you respond to somebody, or stop before you overanalyze something, and just figure out what you already know within, okay? Let's pull from the Light Seers deck. Bear with me as I grab it. What else do we have for Libra? I'm hearing it's you that I want. It's you that I want. We have the Six of Wands, the Page of Wands, the Three of Wands, and the High Priestess. You're gaining a lot of downloads in the next 48 hours. Synchronicities coming in. Your dreams could be of importance, if I could even spit that out. And I really do feel like there's going to be a moment or two where you close your eyes in the next 48 hours, whether you're pushed to by spirit or not, and you see something visually, or you just realize something and you open your eyes and it clicks, okay? Or it clicks when you wake up from that dream or that sleep state. I'm hearing REM. But I do feel as if you need to jot things down. You have a lot going on. Okay, again, distractions coming into play, spirit speaking to you loud and clear in certain ways. You're going to understand a past connection that didn't work out and why that is. There's going to be sort of a connecting of things where you start to better understand or a continuing understanding of why certain connections didn't progress the way they were meant to, or you felt they were meant to, why certain jobs didn't last longer than you thought they would, or why you haven't progressed as quickly as you thought you should be, or you thought you were meant to when it comes to your business or whatever you've been working on. But it feels like connections are taking a huge focus, okay? Now, I do feel like you're thinking about the distant horizon, the future, or just a little bit down the line when you're meant to start something new, okay? It just feels like a specific somebody, if not multiple people, are just on Libra's mind. They are thinking about you too. I sense that you're very energetically connected to somebody, if not multiple people, where when you hear spirit, they may be pushing you to stop thinking, okay? Or they may be pushing you to switch to another thought process, whether it's meant to be or not. I do feel like your knowledge about something that hasn't been brought to light yet will come into play in the upcoming weeks. Keep that in mind. But I do sense that you're a bit on stage. You might be a little bit shy in the midst of people noticing you, or you're just, for some of you you're not, and it's just coming to you quite naturally. You might have heavy Leo or Gemini in your chart is what I'm getting, but I just feel like you are being shown in the best light in the next 48 hours. Shown in the best light, that is the best way to put it. And I feel like things are growing and developing and progressing in the way they're meant to. Keep that in mind. And I do feel like your spirituality is putting you a bit in the spotlight in certain ways, okay? Your simplicity but complexity as an individual, as you're progressing and developing, changing on a core level and a soul level, that's also taking a highlight. And people are noticing how much you're changing. I'm hearing you're not the Libra I once knew. You're not the Libra I once knew, or at least not fully. And you're just gonna have a moment or two where it either satisfies you to hear that or just to know that, or it will just be a moment where you're just kind of like, it is what it is, where the person or multiple people that are looking in upon the developments and changes going on with you have probably been changing as well. Let's just accept that Libra is growing into a beautiful soul that is it's just meant to be, okay? And I feel like that was a message in and of itself. It's just meant to be. It's just meant to be. When things happen naturally, organically, whether it's connecting with somebody, whether it's producing something, developing something, accomplishing something, understanding something, that's meant to be, okay? There's a level about the next 48 hours for you, Libra, where you don't need to force it, right? And there's gonna be that reminder through everything that just naturally, again, comes to be. You're going to find that you do repeat yourself a little bit in the next 48 hours as you speak a lot, as you communicate with people a lot, a bit of socializing, even if you're spending a good amount of time within your hermit mode. They're saying, take a deep breath, my lovely Libra, as we know you have a lot to say and you have a lot going on in your head and in your private life and all that you desire and hope to come to be, and the excitement of new beginnings and even renewing, mending with certain people. But I just feel like there's so much to experience moving forward that we don't need you burning oneself out, okay? So just try to pace yourself. But I do feel like there's a focus on a change that needs to take place as far as your habits go and how that will make you feel healthier, okay? But I do feel like there's also, again, a huge focus on your core change, all right? And I feel like that's, again, putting you in the spotlight, okay? You're changing in a beautiful way, and it's making it easier for you to be in the knowing, to enhance your skill sets, however that works for you, and to co-create, to manifest. But I do feel like there is a decision you need to make, okay? A decision that needs to come to be. And I do feel like there's somebody in your midst who could be viewed as a thief, okay? And or you could be pushed to think about a thief from the past, to recognize that you're making better choices these days. You're making better choices, and you know that, okay? Or just to highlight how much better somebody is these days. But I do feel like your expectations will be pushed into a positive light, all right? But don't overdo it when it comes to what you expect from somebody or a situation. I feel like it's just a bright next 48 hours where you're being pushed to go with the flow and to embrace how you're feeling as justice comes to be for you individually in more than one way, all right? So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy the next 48 hours, and I'll see you next time. Bye, Libra.